And first up, let's get you all of the details on the Karnataka Hijab Showdown. There is an uneasy calm that prevails right now in districts across Karnataka because of what the High Court has said. Hearing this matter yesterday, remember it was a larger bench that heard the matter yesterday. They've said very clearly that the hearing will resume on Monday. But in the meanwhile, no hijabs, no saffron shawls, no religious outfits will be allowed in educational institutions. The petitioners thereby are likely to move the Supreme Court against the High Court's proposal that students cannot wear religious outfits to schools and colleges till the court decides on the matter. Schools will reopen in Karnataka meanwhile from Monday. The government has announced that students from classes 1 to 10 can resume, in fact, going back to schools in the first phase. At this point, classes 11 and 12 will not be opened. The Karnataka Chief Minister is also going to be holding a meeting today with ministers and Education Department officials. The Karnataka High Court on Thursday proposed that institutions once again reopen, but appealed to students not to wear religious dresses to schools and colleges, urging students to maintain peace and tranquility. The court appealed to everyone to refrain from adopting religious practices while the matter is still being heard. Remember that there's no order that's come in yet. This is for the meantime till there is a decision by the High Court.
There is no interim relief for students in Karnataka demanding permission to wear hijab. The Karnataka High Court on Thursday asked the colleges to reopen. It has asked students to desist from wearing hijab or saffron shawls or any other religious symbol. The next hearing on the plea filed by Muslim students against hijab ban is on Monday. The petitioners have called the hijab ban a suspension of their religious beliefs.
I don't think so. If a saffron shawl is a right to them, they can allow it. But they created this issue soon after we are wearing it. We are wearing it from before. Our ancestors, everybody used to wear this headscarf. Not only us, but everybody used to wear. I don't know where they brought a new rules. In India, for a girl to ask for a justice, she must have been trained or what? She should be trained for ask to justice. Some other people should be trained her to ask for justice. Why I can't raise my voice for a justice?
The Basavaraj Bommai government says schools and colleges will reopen in phases. It has urged students to maintain calm and cooperate.
All my school and college campuses are peaceful, and our students have behaved very well since last 2 days. Very well, and I thank them for the restraint. I also appeal to everybody, students, teachers, parents, SDM members, management members, departmental officials to work together and see that there is a peace in the campuses.
Meanwhile, protests in support of women's choice to wear hijab are spreading across the country. In Tamil Nadu, the CPM student wing held a protest arguing that a woman's choice to wear any dress she wants is a fundamental right protected by the Constitution. Politics is adding fuel to the fire. The issue is resonating.
कुछ लोग चुनावों के समय अलग-अलग प्रयोग करते हैं, वातावरण खराब करने का काम करते हैं, जो मुद्दे नहीं होते उनको मुद्दे बनाने का काम करते हैं। आखिरकार देश भर के स्कूलों में, कॉलेजेस में यूनिफॉर्म होती है, तो जहां पर जो रूल है वो रहना चाहिए।
हम हिजाब पहनेंगे।
While the political fight continues, the decision on whether the hijab ban is constitutional will be decided by the courts. In doing so, the courts will have to decide if wearing a hijab is essential to the practice of Islam. With Nolan Pinto, Nabila Jamal and Mustafa Sheikh, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, away from all of the protests and politics over the hijab showdown, we're also looking at how this is progressing legally. And one of the questions thereby that's risen in court and has been asked time and again right now, it's become a big talking point about whether hijab is an essential part of the religion, whether it's an essential part of Islam. We're getting you legal voices and decoding what experts have to say on that very question. Let's get you the latest updates from the ground. Nolan Pinto is joining us live this morning to decode exactly what the Karnataka High Court had said yesterday. Nolan, good morning. Give us the highlights of the Karnataka High Court's observations and also the fallout it's had. What has been the government's decisions thereafter?
Well, good morning, Akshita. In fact, the Karnataka High Court, it's a full bench that is actually hearing it, led by the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court. Now, the entire argument went on, like you rightly stated, is wearing the hijab an essential or integral part of Islam. And the petitioners' advocates also argued on the Karnataka Education Act, saying that there are two acts. One is in 1983, which did not prescribe any uniform, and thereafter in the 1990s, which spoke about a uniform. So the entire argument went on this, whether to wear a uniform. The advocate stated that uniforms are only worn in school in order to identify students in case they get lost. But once they leave school and enter pre-university or degree colleges, they do not wear uniform. And the Karnataka government had in the past not prescribed any such uniform. So to and fro this issue went on. And they also requested for, basically saying, they prayed an interim prayer that let the students please come back to school, because for them the right to education is very important. Finally, before the end of the session, now the session will again, the court, full bench will reconvene on Monday. Just before that, Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court stated that as of now, he feels really bad that schools are shut. Schools were shut for the entire duration of COVID. Students have to get back to studying. They have to get back to colleges and schools, he said. But he made this very important point. There will be a status quo. Nobody will be allowed to wear their religious attire or religious clothing, which means no headscarves on one side and no saffron shawls on the other hand. And in the evening, finally, the Chief Minister had a very important meeting with the Education Department, the Home Department. The ministers were also there from their respective ministries. A decision was taken that they will reopen schools and colleges in a phased manner. So schools now, that is 1st to 10th, will be reopened on Monday. They have not yet taken a decision on pre-university, that is 11th and 12th, and degree colleges. They will take that later, keeping in mind the sensitivities. So This is what's happening as of now. But the students, well, the ones who are wearing the saffron shawl, when we spoke to them, they said that we are very happy. We will follow the uniform and we'll come back to school or college when college is open. But the ones wearing the headscarves have stated that they will wait for the court case on Monday to reconvene, but they will fight till the end.
What's the mood on the ground also, Nolan? You know, you've summed up for us what's happened in the court and thereafter the government's decision also to reopen schools, at least for classes 1 to 10 from Monday. What's happening on the ground? This essentially will be viewed as a setback for the petitioners, because they were arguing that till there is a decision by the court, let students wear hijab, let students go ahead with their headscarves.
Well, in fact, the advocates, petitioners in the court itself, when the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court gave this order as such, said that you're asking us to choose between food and water, between conscience and the other issue. So that is when the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court said it is only a matter of a few days. So please cooperate with us. It was yesterday. It's reconvening on Monday. So on the ground as of now, Akshita, thankfully, it is peaceful. The government of Karnataka had actually shut colleges, that is 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, that is school 9th, 10th and the pre-university, and also degree colleges. That was for the 9th, 10th and 11th. So now schools will only open 1st to 10th on Monday. So as of now, the situation across Karnataka, in various institutions and outside the institutions is peaceful. In Bengaluru itself, Section 144, subsection 1 has been imposed at all educational institutions, which means for 200 meters around those places, no one will be able to congregate or protest. So the government has taken security measures to make sure that students are at home, they're concentrating on their studies. Exams begin for 11th and 12th on 16th of April.
Right.
They focus on
All right, Nolan, thank you for joining us with all of those details. So right now, it looks like everyone's waiting to see what exactly the order from the Karnataka High Court is going to be. Amid all of this, and there have been a lot of reactions to what's been playing out in Karnataka, it's become a nationwide talking point as well. Pakistan again meddled, poking its nose into India's internal affairs. And after Pakistan decided to up the ante, holding a Solidarity Day, and then also with the Pakistan Foreign Minister reacting to this, of course, blowing it completely out of proportion, they even summoned an Indian diplomat. India gave them a sharp response, saying Pakistan should first look into their own track record, referring to all of the atrocities that happen against minorities in Pakistan, on which they're completely silent.
Temples in Pakistan desecrated. Hindu, Sikh, Christian women abducted, forcibly converted and compelled to marry older Muslim men. Minority traders shot dead in broad daylight. Despite a series of attacks on Hindu, Sikh and Christian minorities in Pakistan, and bigots and terrorists celebrated even by the civil society, Pakistan raised the Karnataka Hijab controversy, summoning a top Indian diplomat in Islamabad. Pakistan, in a desperate bid to interfere in India's internal affairs, has decided to observe the Hijab Solidarity Day on Friday.
जुमातुल मुबारक 11 जो फरवरी है, परसों पूरे मुल्क के अंदर यौम यकजहती जो है दुख्तरान हिंद हिंदुस्तान की मजलूम बहनों के साथ, मुसलमानों के साथ, अक़लियतों के साथ यौम यकजहती का दिन मनाया जाए.
India's chargé d'affaires Suresh Kumar refuted all allegations levelled by the Pakistan Foreign Office over the Karnataka hijab controversy. India called Pakistan's charges baseless and told Pakistan to look within and check its own track record. Union Minorities Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi also hit out at Pakistan.
अब कुछ लोगों ने ये ठान रखा है कि यूनिफॉर्म पर मिस इन्फॉर्म करने का कम्युनल कंपटीशन और क्रिमिनल कंपटीशन करेंगे, तो उनमें मजे की बात यह है कि यहाँ पर कुछ लोग जो है उस कंपटीशन का हिस्सेदार भागीदार हैं और उधर पाकिस्तान है.
India asked Pakistan to look within first, where on February 2nd in Sindh, a Hindu businessman was shot dead in the Anaj Mandi. On 30th January in Peshawar, a Christian priest was shot dead after a Sunday mass. On 2nd January in Balochistan, again a Hindu trader was murdered in Las Villa. AIMIM Member of Parliament and barrister Asaduddin Owaisi also hit out at the Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai and also on Pakistan for their doublespeak and uncalled for interference in India's internal affairs.
पाकिस्तान से हम बताना चाह रहे हैं कि मलाला पर हमला पाकिस्तान में हुआ था, मलाला वहां से नहीं पड़ी तो उसको बरतानिया जाना पड़ा. ये हमारी बच्चियां यहां पर रहेंगी, इज्जत से रहेंगी और पढ़ेंगी और नेक और काबिल बनेंगी. हम पाकिस्तान के लोगों से कहेंगे इधर मत देखो, उधर ही देखो.
The Bharatiya Janata Party hit out at Pakistan for using the hijab controversy to divert attention from Imran Khan's failures.
Same Pakistan that has no track record to speak of on human rights, on women's rights. The same Pakistan which tortures Ahmadiyas, Baluchis, Shias, Hindus, Sikhs. It tortures women, doesn't give them any space, doesn't allow them to get educated, and is now getting an opportunity to lecture India on these issues.
However, shameless Pakistan is set to observe Hijab Solidarity Day on Friday. With Geeta Mohan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.